There you go. Today, we're going to talk about how you can stop chasing down people, stop drooling all over them, stop throwing up on them in the DM. We're going to talk about how you can attract people to you. Here's the deal. You're already attracting people to you. You're just not doing it with intention. So today, our guest, Lola Oyafemi, she's from Nigeria. So I'm super excited to have her here today because she's 8 hours ahead of us and she's just knows what's going to happen in our future because of that, right? But I'm excited to have her because I met Lola about 3 months, maybe 4 months ago. And I met her in a Facebook group. And, like we meet a lot of people in Facebook groups. And what was cool is Lola attracted me to her through a message that she posted. And so I reached out to her. And then we started having conversations and I started learning a lot from her. And I said, you know what, I want to share her message with everybody because it's really valuable information, but it's going to help you to stop chasing those clients down. So with that, I want to welcome my guest today, Lola Oyafemi. Hello, Loya. I'm just going to, for short, Loya. That's your new name.
Hi, Linda. How are you doing today?
Oh my gosh, I'm doing great. And I'm super excited about this because, we've talked many times. I had you on the women, action takers group. You came in and spoke to the group and they really, really enjoyed it, got so much out of it. And so today I wanted to bring you in because, we were talking about this thing of magnetic marketing and, how do we attract people to us? And the thing is that we're attracting people to us already, but are we attracting the right people? Right. And that's what your message is all about, is attracting to you the right people. So why don't you share with us a little bit about like how you got started and like why you're doing what you're doing?
Okay. So I got started 4 years ago. I was working in a radio station, and because of long hours, I had to. So when I left, I needed to replace my income. So one of the things I decided to do was to go online and do digital marketing. And as I was doing digital marketing, I really involved my husband and I. We started an agency. But last year, we reached a point where we were not getting clients. So one of the things we started doing, which was different, was we started creating content and posting content into groups and hoping that people were going to reach out. And we started posting like many posts, like sometimes 3 posts a day, different things. We're really, really posting valuable content. And that was how we started building a client base that is international. And because of that, we're able to now grow our agency. So fast forward to December, I had my child, and because of taking care of a newborn and COVID and everything, I decided to move on from just doing the work to actually start teaching other people how to create content, how to create value that actually attracts the right people to them. Because one of the things I learned during that time was that sometimes you create a post and you think it's super valuable. Oh, people are going to resonate with it, and no one resonates with it. No one. People may like it, and they may engage in it. They may say, "Oh my God, awesome information! You're so brilliant," but no one is buying. And that was really when I started really digging deep into why people buy and what messages attract the right people. And what I see a lot of people do online is they just keep on creating so much content, but they're not talking to the right people. They're not talking to the right kind of buyers. And that's the core of magnetic messaging. If you're not sure of who you want to attract, you can't attract the right people you want. But even when you're sure of who you want to attract, if you're not speaking in a language that calls them to you, they're not going to come to you. So I hope that kind of answers your question, Linda.
Yeah, definitely. And what's interesting about you saying that is, I'm not short on content. So it's exactly what you're saying, right? Like I'm not short on content. I've got too much content probably. And it's not really in the right message for years. And I believe that, and I say this because somebody actually told me this, but you can't believe everything everybody tells you. But they're like, I've been working with you for a couple years and I don't even know what you do because my messaging was so mixed up, right? So confusing. One day I was talking to this group of people. The next day I was talking to that group of people. And so it's very confusing for the audience to know what your message is if you don't know what your message is. But not if you don't know what your message is. Sorry, I get some weird stuff going on here. Okay, hold on. And not only that you don't know what your message is, but if you're confusing everybody, then it's hard to bring them back. I think was the hardest thing for me is I say bring them back because I never had them, but to bring them to a place where now they can see what my message is. And now that I'm speaking more clearly my language, I'm attracting the people to me that I want to attract. And, here's the thing is that might sound harsh, but the reality is I'm in business. You're in business and you want to attract to you. I like to call them tire kickers. You don't want to attract tire kickers because those are the people who are going to come in. They're going to, just look it at. They're going to get all your free stuff. And you call them something, freebie seekers, I think. But you're going to attract the freebies, which is awesome because we want to help people. I mean, I just want to help people, but I also want my business to be successful. So if all I'm attracting is the freebie seekers, it's my message that's attracting them. And that's where you come in, right? Because talking about the messaging and I would love for you to give us a couple tips, like something that we can walk away with today to say, okay, I get this. I see the value in being clear in my message. I see the value in being intentional with my posts. And sometimes actually Lola will message me and she'll say, Linda, I don't understand what you're doing. And I'm like, thank you for reminding me because I need to be reminded, because I go into a tangent, obviously. But, I just would love for you to talk about magnetic messaging. What does that mean? How are we attracting these people to us? What kind of messaging should we be putting out there that can help us to attract people to us?
Okay. So a few years ago, I was in a relationship with someone, and this guy used to save people's names as different things. So he saved someone's name as Jekyll and Hyde. And before that, I had never heard the term before. And when I asked him, okay, what does this mean? He said, they're happy today, they're sad tomorrow. You never really know where you are with them. And most times, our messages, especially online, our blog posts, our websites, our social media posts, can be a bit of Jekyll and Hyde. So it's like it's here today and it's there tomorrow. No one really understands what you do and who you serve. And the problem with that is not only will you be attracting like freebie seekers, and freebie seekers are not bad people because at one point in everyone's business, we've all been freebies. It took some boldness, slightly some courage to actually take up time and say, I want to invest in my business. I want to do something instead of doing it ourselves. So at every point, we've all been freebie seekers. But the problem there is we didn't stay as freebie seekers. So your message shouldn't be talking to people who are not ready to make a payment. And the reason why is because the more you talk to these people, the more you don't make any money and the more you start resenting your business. People talk a lot about, I just want to help the world. You can't help the world if you resent your business. You can't help your clients if you resent them for paying you too little. The moment you're not making enough, and when I mean enough, it's contextual, like enough to you may be different from enough to me. But if you're not making enough for you to be excited about going to your business every single day, the chances of you resenting your business are really high. So what you want to do is you want to be clear on two things. The first thing is, who do I want to serve? Now I'm not talking about, just really niching down into like, I want to serve a mom of 7 who has, no. Who do I want to serve in terms of what problem does that person have? So for me, the person I want to serve is a coach or expert or an online service provider. I also serve people in MLMs who have a problem with communicating their offer. They're amazing at what they do. They get their clients great results, but the only problem they have is they can't communicate it in such a way that it attracts the right people to them, people ready to invest. And because I work with these people and I'm very clear on the problem I solve, I can easily attract these people because I know what to talk about. I know what they're looking for online. I know the kind of live videos that's going to vibe with them because I know the problem I am solving. Most times, the reason why it's so hard to have a clear message because we ourselves, we're not really clear on the problems we are solving. And that's one most times when me and Linda have all these chats. One of the things I tell her is like, Linda, you're a connector. The problem here is always people want to be in a group, people want to feel this tribe thing, people want to be in a community, people want to help each other, and they don't know how. And that's a big problem. And when she sat up and she took up that problem, Lena's an amazing person. She's doing that right now. So the thing is, if you're not really clear on the problem you solve, it's always going to be hard for you to create messages that really resonate with your dream people. And remember what I said about talking to freebie seekers is because the reason you don't want to talk to them because you don't want to resent your business. If you're doing your business every month in and out, you're not making any money, eventually you may have to leave and go get a job. And at that point, you're either resenting your business or you're resenting your job. But the main thing is there's resentment. So you want to be talking to people that are ready to take action, people that are ready to do something about their lives, their business, their relationship, people who are ready to, take action and put down a payment. Now, I'm saying put down a payment because I like working with people who have skin in the game. Skin in the game means that they have something on the line. They are going to show up because they know they have something on the line. And why I'm saying this, because I've done both before. I've worked with people pro bono and they haven't shown up. They haven't done anything. They're missing coaching sessions. They're not taking action. And it's like, but this person got on the platter of gold. Well, they don't want to on the platter. We as human beings, we tend to value stuff that we actively pursue, actively invest in. When people pay, they pay attention. So, Linda, is there any particular thing you want me to talk about again?
Oh, no, I was taking notes. Yeah, I love that saying, when people pay, they pay attention. I don't know if you heard this. When people pay more, they pay more attention. So, but it's true, right? Because this is the challenge, I think, is for me, for example, the mindset shift that I had to go through to go from, if I charge, this was my mindset. If I charge them, what if they say no? And if they say no, does that mean they don't like me? Because I was a people pleaser my whole life, until more recently. So I equated the yes or no about money to love for me, So let's talk about that because, when we're talking about, attracting people who are willing to invest in us. There's something that people say, I hear this all the time, and I totally disagree with it, by the way. But what I hear people say, or coaches say, is if people, basically they're equating your value to the amount of money you're charging. And I don't agree with that because there's some things that I'm not going to charge anything for, and there's some things I'm going to charge something for. And while I'm growing myself, my pricing will increase because I'm having more confidence in myself. And it's not that the value is any different, because the value I'm offering is the same. I'm just not charging enough because there's something going on up here about charging money. So let's talk about that, because I know you've helped me work through a lot of that. I've had a lot of coaches that have helped me through stuff. And this is one of the things you've helped me through is the money aspect also. It's not just about attracting those people, but now you've attracted those people, but you got to then make the offer. And I have a note because Lola told me this, make an offer every day. She told me, make an offer every day, Linda. And the reason for that wasn't about making the offer every day. It was about myself breaking through this issue of not making an offer at all. Right? Right, Lola? She's like, yeah.
The thing about pricing is, like people say, some people tell you just raise your prices. Anytime you say just raise your prices, but you can't just raise your prices because sometimes you don't have the confidence, you're not really sure. But there's also the set of people who say, charge what you're worth. You're worth far more than money. Like you're worth so much more. And most times, the reason why people say charge what you're worth is because they feel that, you're not charging enough if you really look at your value. But the real question there is, what are we worth? Now, we're worth different things to different people. Like to my husband, to my son, I'm invaluable. Maybe to someone else, one random person on the internet, I'm not worth that much. But there are people you're worth so much more to. So charging what you're worth is wrong. You shouldn't be thinking of charging what you're worth because you can never charge what you're worth. You can never, like literally never. If you charge 1 million, you're worth more than 1 million. If you charge 10 million, you're worth more than 10 million. Like you can never really charge what you're worth. But what I want you to think, and this is a big mindset shift, even for me, and I was talking to my own coach yesterday, and he said something. He said, when you want to charge, don't just think about today. Think about what's the lifetime value of my offer for the next 30 years, for the next 60 years of their life, for the entirety of their life. What's the value? What's the value of the results they get working with? And before, I used to feel like, oh my God, I have to charge low ticket. I'm African, or people are not going to want to pay me, because I used to have a lot of mindset issues about charging. But when I started thinking that way of charging, what is the result of what to the person, it kind of shifted my mindset. And the conversation we had last night also like really, really nailed me down in that new mindset that people will pay for results. It's not really about what you're worth. It's not about, oh my God, your program is awesome. People are going to pay for a result that matters to them. If your result matters to them, they're going to pay. If getting the result matters to them, they're going to pay. And I'm always giving this example, like if you have a bottle of water and you're standing outside, maybe on a school day, even before Corona, and you're standing outside on a school day, you see a high school student pass by you, and you say, oh, take this bottle of water, I'm going to sell it to you for $100. The high school students will not buy it. They say, I also get home, I won't buy it. They won't buy it. But imagine you have this same bottle of water, you're in the middle of the Sahara Desert, and someone has been working for days, and they have money, but they don't have water. They won't even think about it. They won't even think twice and say, oh man, they will just make that purchase, because to them, that water is more valuable than the money in their hand. It's not about you, it's about what they want. And what they want is that water at that point in time. And that water is more valuable than $100. Doesn't matter if maybe 10 years from now, they're going to be like in New York and then water is like $1 or $4. It doesn't matter to them. At that point, they need that water like life itself. So that's one of the things I work with my clients through, is finding out who is the person who needs your services so much that they're willing to pay so much for it. So it really depends. When it comes to pricing, it depends on where's this person at and what kind of results am I giving this person. So you don't price based on you don't price based on your program, you don't price based on your feeling. You price based on what's the result people are going to get, what's the lifetime value of this offer. And for me, the lifetime value of my offer is invaluable, because people, they stop working with me and they literally are able to have clarity on their messaging for the rest of their life. They're going to be able to change the trajectory of their businesses for the rest of their life. That's invaluable. So I could decide to charge whatever I want to charge. Now, if I charge low, it's not because, I don't know what I'm worth. If I charge high, it's not because, oh my God, I'm overcharging. I'm charging because I want to charge that, because I'm confident in the value of my offer. I'm confident in the fact that this offer is going to change the trajectory of my client.
I think, well, first of all, there's a lot of things you said that were golden there. But here's the thing. When you said, I'm African, I can't charge more. And I think that's a very interesting concept there, because I totally get it. And there's a lot of people out there from all over the world. Like there's 7.7 billion people on this planet. And how many of them are feeling that same thing? I can't charge that amount because I never graduated high school, right? I can't charge that much because I'm just a mom with a couple kids. I can't charge that much because whatever the because is, the thing is, like you said, and here's you said, when you charge, think about the lifetime value of your offer for the next 30 years of their life. And a great example is when I hired my life coach. She totally 100% opened up my mind to possibilities in my life that I never even dreamt of. Like they weren't even a dream of mine, because there was something locked up that I didn't know. I just didn't know. So the coaching that I had with her, she charged me a certain dollar amount. That was, I've gotten like 10 gazillion times more than the value than she charged. So what was the worth? If she had told me it was going to be $2 million, I would have said no because I didn't have the money. But it was worth it. It would have been worth it because it has, like I said, it's totally changed my mind. And then there's another thing, Lola, I want you to talk about this regarding like tangible businesses or untangible businesses. So like your business, magnetic messaging, right? You help people learn how to write magnetic content. That's not tangible. I can't touch that. So I think a lot of times people, actually, I've heard somebody the other day, they were like, well, I can't charge very much because it's not, they don't walk away with something. So I want you to address that, because I think that is a very important piece here for those coaches out there, for them to realize that it's not about what you walk away with in your hand.
Okay.
So I want you to
So
touch on that. Yeah.
let me start with a story. So today on my stories, I was remembering my mom. My mom passed on when I was 10. And right now, if I check through everything, apart from a duvet, I don't have anything from my mother. But one of the things she passed on to me was my mom was always watching Oprah. And she was always saying, "You're my pride. You're going to do great things. Like, you're not limited because you're here." And that was what my mom was always saying for like the first 10 years of my life. And even when I went through a dark period in my life, I still had my mom's words. So the thing is, most times we overvalue the physical things, the products, I am selling laptops, it means I'm better than, no, no, no. We overvalue all these physical things, like I have a car, I have a house. We overvalue it and we don't value the things that we say are not tangible. But the thing is, not tangible things that are not tangible, that you can't hold, you can't touch, but you only feel and you only know, those are the things that last a lifetime. Like 10 years from now, the latest iPhone will not be the latest iPhone. But 10 years from now, if you decided to take maybe a course in maybe business or something, you're still going to have that knowledge, even though it's not tangible, in the sense that whatever your teacher told you, whatever your lecturer said in class, you can't really hold it. You could, yes, there are books, but the knowledge itself is not tangible. There's so many things in this world, and the best things in the world are not tangible. Things like love, family, they're not tangible. But what I want you to do, and why you can charge more, is you want to tie all these things that seem not tangible to money, in a way that you want to tie it to something. Like, money is tangible. People hold money, people feel money, people spend money. But even money isn't really tangible when you look at it. Because apart from if you're running maybe a drug cartel, how many people really literally hold all the money they make in cash in their hand? They're just numbers in the bank. Like, we move them, we use credit cards, but how many people hold all the money they make in their hands? See, very few
Drug
people.
cartel. That was a great example. I just had to pop in here. Sorry. Okay, keep going.
Okay, very few people. So the best things in life are not tangible. And if you're a coach or you're a service provider and you feel what I'm offering is not tangible, well, you're offering one of the best things in life. And I want you to start measuring that thing by the value. Remember what I said earlier, the value your clients will get over the next 30 years. So let's say you're a life coach, like the example Linda shared. That person changed the trajectory of Linda's life. Now, the moment we start looking, from a holistic place, like looking at the long-term vision, that's the moment we start appreciating things like that. And let me give you an example. Let's say I work with a coach. So I worked with a coach 3 years ago, and eventually my coach became one of my students. But I worked with him 3 years ago, and he was the first person that allowed me to know that I could actually get international clients. Now, us having that conversation, and I did some work for him, like some tech work for a month for free in exchange for that coaching. But from that tech work, I learned that I could tap into an international market. I learned that I didn't have to limit my services to Nigeria. And it was great for me because the following year, my country went into a recession. But what I'm trying to say is just us having that 1 month of coaching together, that changed the trajectory of my life. Like in the sense that right now I'm working with mainly international clients. And the reason I'm doing that is because I had a conversation with someone in a small room 3, 4 years ago. I can't remember the particular date, but 3, 4 years ago, and that changed my life. So all my decisions were based on that one decision. So I want you to think about it. Your client decides to pay you to work with whatever you're selling, and just that one decision is changing other things in their lives. And let's even assume you're not a coach. Let's assume you're a service provider, and maybe what you do is copywriting, and you help someone write a sales page. And from that sales page, you're able to like get a ton of income. That ton of income is going to help them to up level, is going to help them to hire other people. Now, whether you like it or not, whether you got paid or not, you've just helped that person hire some other people. You've changed the trajectory of the lives of those people they just hired. Can you imagine? Now, let's even leave sales page. Let's leave, stuff. Let's say you even sell physical things. Now, I'm talking about tangible stuff. Like there's someone in What Referral Network that sells jewelry. Now, let's say you sell amazing jewelry, for example, and someone takes a piece and they wear it for an event, and because of that piece, the right person saw the piece and loved the piece and said, let's have a meeting, and that became a contract. Do you know that just from selling that one piece of jewelry, you've changed the trajectory of that person's life? I think the reason why we feel so scared of selling, so scared of like really serving, of really showing up, of really charging, is because we kind of undervalue ourselves. We forget that every single thing we do can and will change the lives of other people, whether you're good or bad. And the reason why the coaching space and the whole industry, everyone's saying scams all around, is because people who are not even good enough, and I don't mean good enough like they're bad people, but I mean people who are not experts, they don't really know what they're doing. They're very good at, holding up to that value. And we who are experts and who really know the work, we're the ones shying away. We're the ones saying, oh, I don't want people to think I don't want to charge so much. Oh, I want to help the world, but I don't want to charge them. Oh, we're the ones having all this mindset beliefs, mindset blocks. Meanwhile, the people who really don't know what they're doing, who are only in it for the money, who are only in it to like fleece people out and scam people, they are doing it with so much passion. So I want you to like remove your mind from what do people think I am, where do people see me, and really start looking at the long-term vision of your business and of the people you serve. Look at your clients and really think about your clients. And now let me just share something. One of the things I do and I advise my clients to do is think about your ideal client. Like really think about them. The moment you start thinking about them, that's when you're going to start creating products to help them. That's when you're going to be really, really invested in them. So don't remove your mind from I don't want everything's I start thinking about them. They want to be able to invest. They want to be able to take action. They want to have someone who knows what they're doing. And they want you to have money so you can get better, so you could further help them. Because my ideal client isn't going to go pay money to go and become better at messaging. My ideal client doesn't want that. They just want someone to tell them, I want you to, this is what you should do. They're not going to go get a degree in mass communication like I have. They're not going to like be really into all the copy training. They're not going to be checking out and binging on sales pages because that's not their thing. But if I don't do that, how will I help them? So, and if they don't pay me, how will I have time to do that? How will I have the money to be able to invest in courses and coaches to help me get better so I can serve them better? So just remove yourself from, just thinking about me, and start thinking about them. Think about them in your pricing, in your positioning, think about them.
This is so good because it's sometimes that challenge to come out of that mindset of I don't want to be like the car salesman. Like that, car salesmen get a bad rap, I think. Well, maybe it's not a bad rap, but I don't want to be a sleazy car salesman. It's kind of the saying, that's out there. But and you don't have to be. That's what's cool about it. So that's what I love about what Lola teaches is it's not about selling. People want to, first of all, people want to buy. People like spending their money. Think about when you get money and it's like, let's say you got a windfall of, let's say a windfall of $100. Okay. I'm just going to use a small number. So you got $100. And what's your first thought is like, what can I spend this on?
Yeah.
Your clients are the same way. Your clients are just like you. So now you're like, okay, I've got this $100. Where can I spend it or invest it or whatever words we want to use? But you want to do something with it because it's a flow of money. Money comes in, goes out, comes in, goes out. So now what we're doing is as a business owner yourself is you're creating the product or service that person wants to spend their money on. That's all it is.
That's all it is. That's all it is. The thing is, most times people don't think about the other person. Well, it's all about most mindset blocks when it comes to money is usually just about me. I don't want people to think I am the sleazy side of car sales. I don't want people to think I am expensive. But we're not thinking about them. We're not taking them into consideration at all.
Yeah, and that's so true because if you think about like when I did hire that life coach, it was a situation that I was looking at my life and I was asking myself these questions like, gosh, what is the purpose of this planet? What is my purpose for being here? I have no value. And then I saw this message from this woman who said, I'm a life coach. I took some time off. I'm getting back into it. I'm looking for 5 women who want to change their life. And I was like, oh my God, she's talking to me. It was magnetic messaging. That message that she magnetized me to her immediately. And I was like, I'm in. I didn't know her from Adam. I didn't know she had any qualifications, but I didn't care because she told me she was going to change my life. And I believed her. This woman I didn't even know, like I believed her. Why? Because I was looking for that. I was seeking that in my life. So if we can open our minds to realizing that it's really about, like you say, Lola, it's not about you. It's about who you're serving. Who do you want to serve? Who do you want to attract to you? Wait, with all that, I say we got to go. We're like over time, but just Lola, I wanted you to share about your workshop because you're doing a workshop. It starts tomorrow, I think, but it's a free workshop. So tell us about the workshop. What can we expect to learn from that workshop? And how many clients am I going to get? Just kidding.
But wait, this workshop is really amazing. So I'm really excited to share about it. Um, it's going to work for 3 days. It's going to work. Yes, the workshop's going to work for 3 days. We're going to be talking about magnetic content. And I didn't create this workshop in a vacuum. I actually spoke to my audience and asked them, which workshop do you want? And they said they want magnetic content workshop. So in this workshop, we're going to be going through 3 things. And the first day, we're really going to be deep diving into who your ideal client is, what do they want to hear. So on the first day, we're going to be like creating a big picture. Because at the end of the first day, I want you to leave with a picture of who you're talking to and what they want to hear and who's the right person. Now, you may have like 10 people who feel like the right person, but not all of them are the right person. Who is the right person? Who has this problem I solve? And who this problem I solve is costing so much, they're willing to invest in solving. So on the first day, we're really going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about what this person needs to hear. So on the second day, we're really going to go into planning. So the first day, we're having a picture idea, but the second day, we're planning out. We're going to be planning your own magnetic content strategy. I'm going to be talking about the 3 types of magnetic content and the kind of things you want to be doing for your own particular business. Now, if you show up live and you tell me your business, I could coach you during the call so that you could also just take that and implement it. But every single day, all the things we're going to talk about are going to be really actionable. There's no fluff. There's no long story about things that, that don't work. So that's what we're going to do. The second day, we're going to really plan out. On the third day, we're going to deep dive into building your strategy. So you have a plan, but we're going to talk about how many times are you going to be posting? How much is too much? What are your content what's your content going to look like? Are you going to be doing live videos? Are you going to be doing written posts? And we're really just going to create and build that up so that by the end of the third day, not only do you have a plan, but you have, a follow through strategy, how you are going to really implement. Because what I find is most times workshops give you a plan, they give you a hype, but after the workshop, you can't really follow through because it's like no step by step, what should I do next? So what I'm going to do is on that third day, we're really going to just build up on that plan so that you can actually follow through. So that every single week in your business, you know the things you need to do. Not just need to do, things you need to do and you want to do to grow your business. And the beautiful thing about that third day is we're also going to be talking a bit about pricing. What you should price and why you should price that much or that. I'm not going to tell you to price lower because I actually believe that at every level of the scale, you have clients. Like there was a time I was charging $50, I had clients. When I started charging 1K, I had clients. So as you keep growing, you have clients. Like, and it doesn't really matter. What matters the most, like I said, is what's the result worth to your client. It's not really about, oh, what am I worth? Or, all those things don't matter. What's the result worth to your clients? And every single day we're building on the previous day. So every single day we're building on the previous day. So like that third day, we're actually building on the first day. The idea of who is this ideal client and what's it costing them. So by the time you have that idea, on the third day when we're talking about pricing, you can decide who you're going to be targeting your messages towards because you know who is it costing the most, like who is this problem costing the most. And let me share an example. So some months ago, I was working with someone who is a virtual hormone nutrition coach, and she was saying that she has like not a lot of people. Like she could help people with menopause, she could help people with painful periods, like different things. And when she listed everything else, I said, who is it costing the most? And we really lasered in on infertility. And she said, it's costing a lot of women because they want to have a child. And they're struggling with infertility and so many things are going on and they're taking drugs and they're trying, different procedures and things are not working out for them and they're willing to invest anything. And I said, you have a really cheap solution to helping women with infertility. Why don't you talk about it to those women instead of talking about heavy periods? Now, I know people are going to invest in heavy periods, but not as much as people are going to invest in infertility because heavy periods are costing something, but they're not costing as much as to someone with them as someone who is trying to have a child, who knows that their biological clock is ticking, and the longer they wait, the harder it is for them to conceive. So that's really what we're going to be building on, your pricing on the third day.
That's a fascinating distinction there, right? Because you were able to hear that in the conversation you had with her. And I know we were on our referral network meeting call the other night, and I was excited that you showed up because one of the women had a question, and I was like, oh my God, thank God Lola is here because you were able to just ask her a few questions and help her get to much more clarity. And that's what I love is the way you think. It's different than anybody I know, and I love how you can quickly see the big picture as to where the person can go if they get clear on their messaging. So that's the thing, is that the messaging is so important for us to get clear on. So join us in the Magnetic Content Workshop. It is free. It starts tomorrow, right, Lola? Friday?
Yep. It starts tomorrow, 12 p.m. EST. What's that time in your time? I think that's 9
PST. It's 9 a.m. PST, right? So 12 p.m. EST, 9 a.m. PST. Yeah. So I'm excited to do it because even though I've been working with you and stuff, I still, I can learn a lot more. Right. And what I like about this idea that you're doing is that you're going to get us like, cause it's a workshop. It's not like one of those challenges. And like you said, what I love, Lola, and I don't know about everybody else out there, but I'm getting tired of the challenges where they're like all run the same exact way and where they spend the first day of a bunch of fluff, the second day trying to convince you why you need to work with them, the third day giving you some amazing content, the fourth day selling to you, and the fifth day selling to you. Like that's what a 5-day challenge is all about. So, I'm tired of them. I just want the meat. And because I've told Lola before, I was like, I can know in 5 minutes if I'm going to work with you. Just give me some amazing content so that I know that, oh my gosh, if this is what she's giving me for free, I cannot even imagine what she's going to give me when I'm paying her. You know, I don't need a whole lot of time to learn that. But I know that your magnetic content workshop is going to be packed full of extremely valuable information. So everybody hop in there, go to bit.ly/magnetic content workshop. Join us in there. We start tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. But the recordings will be available until when? Like how long? Or are there going to be recordings available
The courses will be available for a week. So
for
it's
a week?
going to be available till Friday next week.
Okay, so until Friday, that would be Friday the 11th of September. So join us between now and then, and let's see how your content can change just by taking Lola. She's amazing, absolutely amazing. She's helped so many people, and I'm grateful to have you in my life. And you've helped me tremendously. So everybody, join us in there. And her again is bit.ly/magnetic content workshop. And Lola, thank you so much for being here today. And let's get on with our
Thank
day, your
you.
evening, my day, your evening.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Linda.
You're welcome. Have a great day. Bye-bye.